Hi, this is Justin again, the INFJ, as I'm getting used to introducing myself as here, and welcome to another one of these short aLBoP videos. Now, in the first one we did, I talked a little bit about internet trolls because it's important because they cause a lot of confusion. Cleese has mentioned that there's a lot of confusion about personality typing, and I want to talk really quickly about how that happens. Why is it that trolls, with their tactics that they have to fall back on, cause so much confusion about personality typing? Now, some trolls, they lash out, all trolls are insecure, and they lash out because they don't like what reality says about them or their insecurities or whatever, so they try to morph it to something that's more convenient to their insecurities. So they can't use reason. Reason will show them the way things really are. They have to twist reason based on their insecurities. So that's why they have to use tactics, because they don't have actual reason and arguments to fall back on. But some trolls do it just because they're hurting inside. They don't want to be hurting other people. They don't want to be causing confusion, but they're really hurting from something or another that happened to them or whatever. And so they lash out, and they can be really awful, they can be really mean, but it's because they're hurting inside. And so those kind of people, they don't need people to tell them that they're stupid. They don't need people to imply that they're bad people. Honestly, what they really need is for someone to be a friend to them. And that may sound trite, but it works. They need someone to be a friend to them. They need someone to just be patient with them, and even while they're being a jerk, to wrap their arms around them until they can get through the pain and start acting like a person again. Now, that's some people. Some people have that kind of, some trolls have that kind of understandable motivation. There are others who are not doing it because they're hurting inside. There are other trolls who just want to lash out and hurt anyone they can because they're trying to constantly screw everyone they can. Because, quite honestly, they haven't thought through it enough. They're not smart enough to realize that it's less effective to try to screw everybody. That it's more effective in life if you try to work with people than to try to work at them or against them and trying to just pull one over on anyone you can. So those people can be just nasty. And in any case, whether someone's hurting or they're just trying to screw everyone, you can't reason with them. You can sometimes get them to stop trolling if you show them that everyone sees what they're doing, that everyone sees their tactics. But that's not my main point here. My main point here is for you to be able to see their tactics so that you don't have to be confused by them. Now, in terms of psychology in particular, because trolls will try to twist anything on any subject. But right now we're talking about psychology, because for aLBoP. So in terms of psychology in particular, lots of times when we tell people about psychology, they're like, oh, I don't really like psychology. It bothers me. It's creepy. Because a lot of us have known people who get into psychology and make it kind of creepy because they oversimplify it. And as Cleese mentioned on aLBoP, lots of times when someone's threatened by a subject, they'll try to become the authority on it so that then they can say what that subject says. If someone's threatened by people, if they're scared of people, if they're insecure, if they just don't like people, for whatever reason, whether they're hurting or whether they're just nasty, if someone doesn't like people, then oftentimes they'll go try to study psychology so that they can say what people are like, so they can put everyone in a nice little simplified box that doesn't threaten them. And that's not the way people really work. And therefore it's not scientific, because scientific relies on experimentation, reliability, repeatability, seeing how the real world actually works. So there's a lot of junk psych that isn't scientific, that is biased, trying to make everything oversimplified and insulting. For instance, saying that, oh, you only ever want to hire J's because only J's are good workers. That's not how J works. It's not how P works. Or N's are smarter than S's. Not true, not scientific, not repeatable, not accurate. Or one of my favorites. ISFPs simply dance around all day waiting for everyone else to do everything for them. That's not true. I've known a lot of very awesome, hardcore ISFPs who cognate in an ISFP way. It's repeatable, it's experimental. The idea that, just as it's not a personality type to be a troll, it's not a personality type to hate everybody, it's also not a personality type to dance around all day waiting for someone else to do everything for you. That's not how personality typing works. It's not how psychology works. No type is made to be unhealthy. But anyway, Cleese gets into that more on the blog. My point here is that these people who are insecure cause confusion because they get into psychology and they try to dictate what people are like because they're insecure. So then you have people like us who like personality typing because it's awesome. People who, like you guys, who want to get on the internet or read books or whatever because you want to understand people, you want to understand yourself. You want to be able to see how it all works and why it works and be able to predict stuff in advance. And it's awesome because people are cool. And so anyway, you want to get into it, but you want to learn how it works, then a lot of stuff that's online or in books, some of it is written by these kind of insecure people who got into psychology. These are people who cause confusion. Now, this is a complex topic. Of course there's going to be confusion. It's complex. But there are some people these trollish people who use the same troll tactics, who write books and write websites that are oversimplified, that are not scientific, because they're insecure and they fear people, so they want to put people in a box. It's remarkable to think that because people fear people, they put their focus on people, but they do because they're that insecure. They want to put their focus on shoving everyone down so it doesn't threaten them so much. So that's a major reason why there's so much confusion, because a lot of stuff you can find online isn't just misleading, it's deliberately misleading by people who are threatened. Why would someone want to say that N's are smarter than S's? Well, maybe they have a beef against S's. Why would someone want to say that N's are impractical and that only S's are reliable and practical? Because they have a beef against N's. There's one website in particular, I'm not going to say which one, that seems to have a beef against NFs. And I can kind of understand that, because it seems like the writer of that blog was hurt by NFs in their past. And so I can kind of feel for them. But they're still being misleading, they're still hurting people, still saying very harmful, inaccurate, unscientific things about NFs, but I can feel for them. There's a lot of misleading stuff out there. So as I show you troll tactics, as I show, well, this is just another tactic, you want to be misled by it, you want to be confused by it. And so you can get what you wanted, which was understanding how people work and how yourself works. So yes, next time I'm going to go into one of the actual typical tactics they use and just show how it's just a tactic, and start going through these tactics and showing how they all work, so that you can just see them when you see them and be like, oh, well, that's what that was. I thought that guy had a point for a second. Now I see how it works. So yeah, so I'll see you next time.